Chop, the original Guillotine League podcast. Everything you need to know to avoid the chopping block. Chop is brought to you by GuillotineLeagues.com. Now, your host, Paul Charchian.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chop, the Guillotine League podcast. I am Paul Charchian, your host. Joining me as he does every Tuesday, the only man in America who would draft Sam Darnold above Jacory Krosky-Merritt right now, it is Brian Johnson. Hey, my man.
What up, Charge? You know I'm drafting them both. I'm reaching around on both Bill and Sam.
It's not possible to reach a round on Jacory Krosky-Merritt because now he's going in the first round.
He is? Man, one day off of Bill hype, and he's in the first round already. But
that's it. That is it.
He is not someone we'll be talking about on this show, I don't think.
No, for reasons you're going to see in a moment.
Been too hyped.
That's right. That's right.
For too long.
Yes, the hype is. Yep. If you got in as early as Friday or earlier, you paid a bonus price on value price on Jacory Krosky-Merritt. Now everybody wants him. And the thing is, you could have totally seen it coming. Brian Robinson has been utterly ordinary. I've rung up his stats on this show and Fantasy Football Weekly many times. It is not good. This was an opportunity that was knocking, and it looks like Jacory Krosky-Merritt has got a very real chance of being the number one running back in Washington. But that's not what we're here to talk about, Brian.
No.
The first waiver run of the year at GuillotineLeagues.com is coming tomorrow, Wednesday, the 20th at 3 o'clock Eastern time. So this is going to be a little bit different, Brian, than the forthcoming in-season waiver claims, in which it's going to be total pandemonium because the team's going to get chopped and you're going to have a whole roster of players to bid upon. And I've already picked, I'm going to tell you who that roster is going to look like right now. I'm calling my first one, my week one choppies right here, Brian.
All right.
Devon Achane, Drake London, Tyreek Hill, RJ Harvey. That's your first 4 rounds, and then 10 other guys.
I got CeeDee Lamb is my round one guy off the top of my head against Philly, Dallas.
That could be
at Philly in the opener. Yeah, it's going to be maybe CD, George Pickens. We might see a lot of Cowboys on that first week one.
Tough opening week.
Yeah,
opening week.
We should, circle back real quick to the first waiver run tomorrow.
Yes.
On Wednesday. If you are in the midst of a draft, a slow draft, any kind of draft, you're not participating in this first bidding period. Your draft has to be fully complete by 3 p.m. Eastern for you to be even concerned with this bidding period. So this is just for leagues that have already completed their draft. There will be, for all leagues, a bidding period before the season opener, the Wednesday before the season opener in week one. So just to make that crystal clear for anyone listening to this podcast right now, this bidding period only for completed drafts.
So we're here to give you players, if you have a completed draft, players that you should throw a few bucks at on the waiver wire tomorrow. Only a few.
Don't get too excited. If Bill's unless it's Bill, right? If Bill's out there, $1,000. $1,000 bill on Bill. No, just kidding. Don't do that.
I'm in the $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 range for the players that we're going to talk about. We're going to give you players that you could go pick up off waivers if you've already had your draft. And if you haven't had your draft, these are guys that you should be looking at in like rounds 13, rounds 14.
Yeah. These guys are getting drafted now. These guys are getting drafted now.
I hope so. Every player we're going to give you has an ADP of 235 or lower. So here's your opportunity to identify some of the players you should either draft late or use for your waiver wire beginning tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern time. First, as we get into 8 players, at least 8, it might go a little long, that you should be looking at. Let me mention this segment is brought to you by GoPuff. You want to win every week. Keep your lineup on point with the GoPuff Draft Champion and keep your snacks, your stash stocked up with the GoPuff app. Beer, snacks, groceries delivered in as fast as 15 minutes. Get 60% off your first order at GoPuff with the promo code FANTASYLIFE60. It's GoPuff FANTASYLIFE60. All right, Brian, I will yield it to you. Who is the first player worthy of a waiver wire dollar for you?
He's been my boy for quite some time, and it's Demarcus Robinson, who is a very good wide
49ers.
receiver of the 49ers now. He's been on the Rams the last couple of years, stayed in the division, but when given the opportunity, Demarcus Robinson, very good wide receiver. I will die on this hill. Let's go back to 2023 when he was with the Rams, as I just said. Just 26 catches, but for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns on 36 targets. Now, Charch, I love to play the extrapolation game.
Yes, you do.
Some season-long stats. So let's give Robinson 90 targets in that 2023 season. That would put him in like the top 40 range among wide receivers, which is what we're kind of looking at to start the season, right? With Juwan Jennings a little iffy, Brandon Ayuk definitely going to start on the PUP list. So Demarcus Robinson could be a starting boundary receiver in this 49ers offense. So let's give him 90 targets based on those 2023 stats with just 30.
90 is a lot, but
it is. I mean, that's the kind of like volume you'll kind of be getting early in the season, and that's all we care about, right? Like these are again $1, $2 guys, but if we're going to get some 12th round value out of these guys, which we might get out of Robinson, let me just do the extrapolation chart. You're stepping on my process here. 90 targets in 2023 would have been good for 928 yards and 10 touchdowns for Robinson. Based on his 2024 stats, he had 505 yards, 7 touchdowns. His targets went up a little bit, but extrapolate those stats across 90 targets, 750 yards, 10 touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson, at least $1 on him. Throw 0, but I think he's worth at least $1. I think he's going to be have a good role in the first 2-3 weeks of the season. So I got $1 on Robinson, at least definitely 0. Throw something out there. I guarantee there's someone on your roster not as valuable as Demarcus Robinson will be in week 1.
Yeah, of the guys that we're talking about, some of them are almost certainly better than the 13th and 14th round picks that you've already made in your draft, or the 13th or 14th you would have made in your forthcoming draft. Hit these guys instead. Beginning with, for me, my favorite deep sleeper of the year. At 99% availability, it is New England wide receiver Kayshon Boutte. And by the way, it's Boutte, not Boutte, which is a big difference if you're drafting with Sir Mix-a-Lot in person. Now, we know Pop Douglas is going to play the slot in New England, and we know Stephon Diggs is going to be on the outside. But who's going to win the other starting job opposite Diggs? Well, it's going to be Kayshon Boutte. Now, I know there's people that are very, very high on rookie Kyle Williams, but there's no indication right now that Kyle Williams is going to start the season as the starter in New England. It's almost certainly going to be Boutte. Now, here's how we know. He's getting most of the first team reps in practice. On Saturday, Boutte started the game. He played 12 of the Patriots' 14 first team snaps. Kyle Williams played primarily with the second team. And here's the beauty of Boutte. He's the lowest drafted starting receiver in the NFL. So he's going very, very late. He's got a fascinating story. He was a 5-star high school recruit in Louisiana. Basically could have played college football anywhere. He decided to stay at home, play at LSU. And it started well, but it ended badly. His freshman year, Boutte set the SEC all-time single-game receiving record, 308 yards in one game against Ole Miss. He had then a decent sophomore year, and then junior year, it all fell apart. He had problems with drops. He had injuries. He got called out for a lack of effort and focus by his coaches. He had off-the-field issues, including an arrest. And then the death knell for Boutte. As a junior at LSU, he bet on LSU games.
Whoops.
You can't do that. Yeah, no. That's a whoops. So it's now, when he was drafted 2 years ago, Boutte, age 20. He was the youngest receiver in that draft 2 years ago. And his first year, he did basically nothing. Then last year, he had to make a transition to outside receiver. And it all started to click in the second half of the season. From week 8 forward last year, Boutte averaged a team high 6 targets per game, and then finished week 16 of last year with a 95-yard, 1-touchdown game, and week 18 of last year at a 100-yard, 1-touchdown game. If you think the Patriots offense is going to be better, if you think Drake May is going to make a leap as a sophomore, Kayshon Boutte deserves a roster spot for your team. All right, Brian.
After that narrative, I am sold. How much?
Yeah,
how much?
I like it, right?
How much we bidding on Boutte?
Yeah. $2. I don't think you have to bid more than $2. He's available 99% of leagues.
Well, after that,
put $2.
After that sermon.
Yeah, you like that? And we do have to keep things moving a little faster. Who is your next player?
Worshiping the Boutte. I love it. My next guy is Shawn Tucker, who since drafting started, we've seen Rachaad White go down to injury. He's going to miss some time. So Tucker should really just slide right into where White was getting drafted. But I'd like him a little more. Man, I think he's worth like a 7th round pick at this point. If you forgot, last year, Tucker in week 6 rushed for 136 yards and a touchdown, added 3 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown. He won NFC Offensive Player of the Week. And I was like, yeah, that was the game where Rachaad White definitely didn't play. But I was like, oh, yeah, Bucky Irving must have missed that game too. No, Bucky had 16 touches in that game. So, I mean, Rachaad White, Bucky Irving's not going to get all there's standalone value with Shawn Tucker. He's going to take the White role. He's going to get 30% of the touches. And if something were to happen to Bucky Irving, I know, Charch, you would probably pass if that something happened.
I might actually. Yes. Don't even. Why would you bring that into existence? Nothing is going to happen to Bucky Irving all year. He's playing 17 games.
No, I'm not trying to wish injury on Bucky Irving, but my Shawn Tucker bags are packed. You know me. So, but anyway. The most valuable handcuff in fantasy football right now is Shawn Tucker. So I'm bidding $4 on him. He's going to have a big role in the first couple weeks. He's going to be startable for sure. He is a flex-worthy player in Guillotine Leagues with White most likely on the pup list.
As you can see on your screen, if you're watching on our new YouTube channel, the Fantasy Life YouTube channel, you can now watch the Chop Podcast. Shawn Tucker available in 65% of Guillotine Leagues. We move to a player available in 26% of Guillotine Leagues. It's New Orleans tight end Juwan Johnson. He signed a surprisingly big 3-year, $30 million contract with New Orleans. And remember, Taysom Hill's out for the year. Johnson coming off career highs in targets, catches, and receiving yards. And that production's probably going to climb. It's because Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, they're going to be dropping off to the hot read often. They're tight end. And Kellen Moore's got a long history with tight ends. Last year, as Philly's offensive coordinator, Dallas Goedert, tight end 11. 2 years before that, as the Cowboys offensive coordinator, Dalton Schultz, tight end 7, had that breakout year for Dalton Schultz. He had a great year. This is a great opportunity for a guy you can pick up right now, Juwan Johnson. 26% availability. Brian, what do you think? Juwan Johnson, you in? Last pick of your draft or off the waiver wire for $1? What do you say?
Definitely. I think all these guys we've talked about and we'll talk about are draftable now. But Johnson worth $1. Especially tight end is brutal in Guillotine Leagues. If you got to have something, and he seems like he will have that 6-7 point floor, hopefully, which is what you need to skate by early on in the season at tight end. You just can't get a dud. You can't get a dud. I think he's gonna. I'm with you. So $1 on JJ. That's Johnson.
Who is your next player, Brian?
My next player is Elic Ayomanor, who he's.
I'm pretty sure it's Ayomanor.
Ayomanor.
It's Ayomanor. I'm 99% sure.
We're gonna have to double check. I should have triple checked the spelling, but well, let's go with EA. EA is his stock has surged over the weekend. Couple explosive plays showing clear chemistry with Cam Ward. Rookie out of Tennessee, by the way. Good size, 6'2", 205. Speaking of his Tennessee days, torched a cornerback you may have heard of for 13 catches, 200-plus yards, and 3 touchdowns. Yes, it was double overtime, but still torching Travis Hunter, I believe on the road. That put him on the map, got him drafted in the 4th round, and he looks to be the favorite to start opposite Calvin Ridley right now. I love Tyler Lockett, but I'm not too worried about him. It's going to be a tough go for all Titans in week 1 at Denver, probably the least favorable matchup for anyone in fantasy land. So keep that in mind just in general. We'll probably see some Titans on that week 1 list we were talking about, but I'm still putting $1 on Elic, and I think he's definitely draftable. You want to we'll talk about starting him in week 1. We'll see about that. Of course, Calvin Ridley's going to draw Patrick Surtain, but I'm getting a little too far ahead of myself. But I love Elic. Buck on him right now.
New sponsor alert. Our friends at Happy Duck THC Seltzers. This is a 0 sugar, 0 calorie cannabis beverage crafted to help you take flight faster with proprietary terpene blends that steer your vibe. Whether you want calm for your waiver wire chaos or focus for draft day domination, visit Happy Duck Vibes and use code FL25 for 25% off your first order. Welcome aboard our friends at Happy Duck THC Seltzers. In some cases, literal friends. We know some of the people behind Happy Duck. Great people. Let's go to our next player that we believe you should bid on in the waiver wire or take at the very end of your forthcoming fantasy draft. And that is New Orleans running back Devin Neal. He's got 28% availability right now. Now, currently nursing a hamstring injury, but expected to be available for week 1. Alvin Kamara, 30 years old, 2,200 career touches. Nobody's shoveling dirt on Alvin Kamara's grave. But if anything should happen to Alvin Kamara, this is a great opportunity because the closest thing to Alvin Kamara that the Saints have on their roster is rookie Devin Neal. He's the only one who can catch. Kendre Miller, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't think they're any good. Kamara's got speed that Devin Neal does not have and almost nobody else has, but their game is otherwise pretty similar. Devin Neal, ultra shifty, great footwork. He runs with vision. He's very patient and instinctive, and he can catch. 51 receptions the last 2 years at Kansas. That's the big thing. If anything were to happen to Kamara, and this would only be, don't hold Devin Neal all season, but God forbid something happens to Alvin Kamara between now and the start of the season or very early in the season before you would drop Devin Neal for somebody better off the waiver wire, I think he's worth a stab here at $1 right now. Brian, what do you think about Devin Neal?
I don't think a whole lot of many of the Saints outside of Juwan Johnson, but I guess $1 on Neal if you're desperate at running back. I don't know if you need to spend the $1 though. I think some people still kind of believe in Kendre Miller. I'm with you. I like Neal more than, not believe, but they might think he's the guy. I don't. If I'm going to pick one, I'm with you with Neal. But so I don't think you need to spend the $1. But if you might as well play it safe. You get him for $1. I'll guarantee you that much. Deal.
All right, let's go to your next guy, Brian.
All right, my final guy is Isaac Teslaa, not Tesla, right? Teslaa,
yes,
or Teslaa, more like a coleslaw. I want to like
coleslaw. That's right. Yes,
I was hoping like exactly. the arm of Teslaa.
The long arm of Teslaa.
The long arm of Teslaa.
I like it.
6'4". He's got some long arms.
He probably does.
What rhymes with 6'4" is Thor. Thor Nystrom loves Teslaa, who's been not only one of the standouts in Lions camp, but all camps in the league. Looks like he's going to be the third wide receiver over Tim Patrick. And local kid, drafted in the 3rd round, nothing but rave reviews. He's putting good stuff on tape, whether it's in preseason. I know you can't buy into the practice, tape, practice videos too much, but man, he looks legit. And what projects to be, an offense without Ben Johnson, who's gone on to Detroit, to Chicago, a little bit of a downgrade, but that defense is going to be a bit of a downgrade too, I feel like. So I don't know. Dome team, Teslaa, if something happens to Jameson Williams or Sun God, he's going to pay off big time. So he's certainly getting universally drafted at this point, and not in the last round either. The hype is kind of up there. So he's another guy. I think if you want to get him, it's here in the $3-4 range. So I'm going to go 3 on Teslaa.
This is where you and I differ. I'm out on Teslaa, and it's not on ability. It's because he's a rookie, and rookies usually do not start the season in any kind of full-time capacity. He's clearly behind for targets. I think he's clearly behind Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, maybe both running backs. He's going to have to mix time in with Tim Patrick, Khalif Raymond. I just think there's dud game just because there's just not enough football to go around in Detroit for Teslaa to be a reliable guillotine starter. I just see dud games coming, and they might be hard to predict. So I can't walk with you on that one. But you know what you're going to love is my next choice, Brian.
All right.
because I know you love to slough quarterbacks in your Guillotine League drafts.
Oh yeah. I'm actually technically on the clock right now, and I need a quarterback to complete my starting lineup. I'm sorry to take us a little off, but I don't want to do it because I want to slough him so long.
It's your eighth start.
I might break my own rule of not completing my starting lineup and draft some depth because I think I can go another round. But anyway, go on. You're probably going to convince me to do this.
You'll take Sam Darnold, in round 10 or something, probably. But I'm going to go even deeper. Cleveland quarterback Joe Flacco.
Oh, yeah.
Just announced as the starter for week 1. And that's a job he's going to hold for at least a month. And that's really all we care about.
It was a given,
our
too.
Starting quarterback.
It was a given. But anyway.
I thought so, too.
It's official.
I thought it was.
It's official now. But yeah.
If you're sloughing the quarterback position, he's going as the 31st quarterback off the board. So you got a lot of options here. 48% availability on Joe Flacco. He's got receiving talent around him. Jerry Jeudy, Cedric Tillman, and personal favorite, David Njoku. And you'll remember when he played with Kevin Stefanski 2 years ago, Joe Flacco was cooking. In that 5 games, he averaged 323 yards and 2.6 touchdowns. Brian, if we were to, you love this, if we were to spread that 323 yards and 2.6 touchdowns across a full season.
Extrapolate.
Joe Flacco would have been quarterback number 1 2 years ago.
That's some
under
quality
Kevin Stefanski
extrapolation right there.
We can find an average in times by 17 like nobody's business. The schedule very favorable. Cincinnati's defense might be awful. They've got Cincinnati in the opener. They got Baltimore
might be awful. They're about to trade Trey Hendrickson, which is like the only thing they got left on defense. They're going to get even worse.
It could be. It could be. Then week 2, they got Baltimore. They're ranked 22nd in fantasy points allowed. We think of them as a shutdown defense, and they did get better last year, but you can still do a little something there. Then Green Bay, then Detroit, and Detroit's secondary will also be better, thanks to some personnel additions and not having the whole team injured. Really like the addition of DJ Reed. But nevertheless, you've got some opportunities to start Joe Flacco if you do end up punting that draft, that quarterback position until late, or if you've already had your draft, pick him up on waivers for a couple of bucks right now.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on Flacco. And I mean, you didn't. Cleveland acquired Deontay Johnson. What if he resurrects his career? They drafted Harold Fannin, another tight end. So there's definitely some intrigue in that passing game. Yes. And speaking of Deontay Johnson, I would $0 for sure, but last round pick guy, who knows? Because if he could push out Cedric Tillman if he returns to form. I like Cedric Tillman, but I think Deontay Johnson, what we expected him to be last year and what he is better than Cedric Tillman. I think he has that in him. If
Deontay Johnson's on like his 5th team in 2 years.
Oh, it's not.
Nobody's wanted that guy.
No, he just went to Carolina, and it last year was a disaster. I don't know. If you never know, he could make anyway. Enough on Deontay Johnson, but on Flacco.
All right, let's 3 teams last year. He is on his
last year was bad.
5th team in 3 seasons.
Well, he was a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers for quite some time. He's not that old. The Panthers broke him last year. I can't really blame him for that. But then, I don't know. It was a disaster year for him. He's got some work to do to get back to where he was, but I'm not ruling it out. Let's put it that way.
Cedric Tillman is somebody I'm very interested in at ridiculously low ADP of 150. I'm buying on Cedric Tillman. I think he's dramatically undervalued at that spot. That's just me.
We'll just have to see. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but who has more scores more fantasy points by the end of the year, Tillman or Johnson?
Well, it's going to be you if you listen to these 8 waiver wire targets brought to you by GoPuff. Your league mates want you to be distracted. They want you to run out of snacks, out of drinks. They want you off running to the store while they stay focused and draft all of your favorite sleepers. Don't give them that satisfaction. Call in GoPuff. Snacks, drinks, and everyday essentials delivered in as fast as 15 minutes, and get 60% off your first order with the promo code FANTASYLIFE60, all one word, FANTASYLIFE60 for 60% off your first order at GoPuff.
I'm using that today, without a doubt.
Yeah,
great.
Why not, right? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's a fantastic deal, I believe. Brian, this has been a ton of fun.
No doubt.
Any parting words for our listeners?
Oh, none really. Just good luck out there. Happy chopping. Charge, I know you're going to throw it to me, but we'll see you next week. But don't forget to get those bids in if your drafts are complete. 3 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. I'm sorry, 3 p.m. 3 p.m. Eastern tomorrow is the deadline. Get those bids in. Thanks for listening and watching.
Yeah, I had to cough, and you did a great job with that. Reminder, 3 ways to play at GuillotineLeagues.com. Play free with your friends. Play free with others out there in the universe. Join a free public league or play for prizes if your state allows. GuillotineLeagues.com. Have a great week, everybody. Back talking to you on Thursday for more Chop, the Guillotine League podcast.